Welcome back to the Broker Power Up Podcast, the AIME podcast for strategy, stories, and insights to help you close more loans. I'm Tommy Golightly, joined by Jonathon and Haddad. How are you?
You know what, man? Got my coffee in hand. It could be worse. I'll just put it that way. But no, It's not bad overall, man.
Absolutely.
It's been good. Just staying focused on all the different things happening in the world right now, obviously, just because it's impacting what we do for a living and it's impacting the world. So just paying a lot of close attention to it, being prepared and staying as focused as I can.
Yeah, absolutely. And just in case anything happens, we recorded this on last Wednesday. So if there's something in the world that happened between last Wednesday and today, Monday, we don't know about it. So
yeah, and thanks, Tommy, just in case, God forbid, something does happen and we're getting absolutely torched on.
Why didn't you bring this up? Yeah. This is so timely and relevant. Well, we have a schedule and we keep to it best we can. We have a lot to go over today. We have the Broker Buzz, where we're going to dive into the top posts of the week from the Brokers Are Best Facebook group and discuss what's trending, what's working, and what you need to know. Then we're going to have a sales pitch training where John helps us become better salespeople, and we'll wrap things up, as always, with story time with John. But first, a fortune cookie, which I am now officially out of all of the unbroken fortune cookies.
All right, I'll order more.
We're going to need to order some for Fuse too. But your positive outlook will lead you to success.
Oh yeah,
it's a good reminder though.
It is a great reminder. And it is those positive affirmations. It is real, so whether it's, you have to have a belief in yourself, you have to be able to write it down. It's just going to make you go towards those steps. But obviously you got to take it further outside of just having positive thoughts. Your actions have to line up too. But if you start with the positive thoughts, your actions start to align with them. I promise you it does. I mean, there's so much science backed behind this. That is a big belief that I have. And I know it's generic, and that one's definitely one of the more cliche ones, but it is a great reminder because you're not going to win if you don't even have a glimmer of hope that you think there's a chance. You're not. It's really hard. And I know building confidence is not easy. It takes time to build confidence. It takes years of repetition, of consistency. But you got to start with your thoughts first. You got to start with the positivity first, and that does lead you down the right path. So I like that one a lot. I think it's a beautiful reminder. What
Absolutely.
about you?
I think kind of takes it. My head kind of went and was reminded of the other saying of you can be your own worst enemy. Most people are. The only thing keeping you from that success is yourself, and just deciding what paths you want to take. Some are bigger decisions than others, obviously, but your positive outlook will lead you to success. And the other thing that, I've had a rough week just personally, but hopping on, and I don't mean to, this is going to sound bad, but hopping on the podcast and just seeing John smile and then like physically making me smile, releases those feelings of just endorphins. I think so. Maybe it could be wrong. But just the act of smiling and laughing and talking with a friend is just, it helps just completely reverse a day and just gets me into the mood to do the podcast, to continue through my day. Because the other thing, I think one of the things that's really bothering me is I was looking at my calendar this morning. I woke up early, looked at my calendar. I have meetings basically now until 4:00 p.m. And I was just like, I'm really glad I'm starting the day off recording with John with a smile on my face, because by 4:00 today, the smile will probably have faded, but we'll have been through the day.
Well, you know what it is? Like we talked about this before, where it's like the people around you make such a big deal as well
100%
for you. Cause that's the other side of that coin too, where yes, it's the positive thoughts, but it's also the people that will want you to be around them. Right.
Yeah.
Like positive people want other positive people near them. The most successful people I know, and I know very successful people, I've been very fortunate. They don't stand for it. Like, you're not in the group. If you're coming in negative and pessimistic, you're just gone. Like, that whole group, it smiles and here we go. We're going to press forward. We're going to move on. We're going to figure this out. That's the environment that cultivates that kind of success. and they want positive people around it. So think about it from that lens as well. How many opportunities are you missing because of your attitude? Could you imagine missing an opportunity because your attitude sucks? Okay, fine. If I'm not skilled enough, fine, fair. Fair if you pass over me because you think there's a better candidate that has more skill. That's fair. That's how this world works. But could you imagine missing an opportunity because you have a bad attitude? Guys, a bad attitude? You miss a chance because of a bad attitude? Don't be that person. And I know it's hard. It's not like the world is constantly throwing rainbows and butterflies your way. However, everybody else is dealing with life the same way you are. It might be a little different person to person, but they want positivity around them because life is hard. Life does have a lot of negativity, but there's also a lot of beauty in it. And there's the people that have success, they just want that positivity around them all the time. So be that light, find a way to do it. And if you're not, find somebody else that is, and just find a way to be around them and build up yourself. So I just wanted to touch base on that because it is a big deal.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then like there's two hands reaching out. There's one pulling somebody up, and then there's one being pulled up. And then that's always happening in a team. Like, and you're never always the same person. You're always a good team. You're always lifting each other up and succeeding together. So let's dive into the broker buzz with our first question of the week. Need a second opinion. I have a borrower who has an IRS tax lien. He is making payments under the agreement he has with them. He is trying to buy a home. Title is coming back and saying tax liens need to be paid before we can close because they would take first position and it is uninsurable. Lender knows about lien. We have documented payments and he still DTIs. They have no issue. Anyone else run into this?
Okay, so there are a couple facets here, but I want to explain. It sounds like the lien is moving to a property lien and it's not a personal lien on the consumer. So what that means is basically it's going to carry over from property to property is what I'm reading based on what you're saying. In that situation, you're SOL because the lender, the investor's not going to allow a loan to close if they're not going to be the first position. It's not going to do it. Why would they give you, if let's just say you're buying a house for $500,000, you're putting $100,000 down on the house, you're going to have a $400,000 mortgage, but then you also have a $50,000 lien. You close on the home, the $50,000 lien says, oh, wait. We're going to take first lien position. The $400,000 loan now takes second lien position, which means, God forbid, if the client forecloses, the person that is owed $50,000 gets their money first before the person that's owed $400,000. Why would an investor ever do that? They wouldn't. So if it really is being transferred from property to property, you are SOL, just to be very blunt with you. It doesn't happen very often where it transfers from property to property unless it's pretty severe, but that's the only reason why they won't allow it to close. Now, the other side of the IRS, it wouldn't necessarily always be a lien positioning, but you can set up a payment plan. And if the payment plan is good and it's not affecting the property, you are able to close in these situations. So as long as it's not impacting any of the property directly, you do have an opportunity to close a loan, even if you're set up on an IRS tax payment plan. It's different between government and conventional loans. So just look into the guidelines accordingly. But you can close if they have a payment plan. Read the guidelines. There are caveats, and it's not being transferred from property to property. But a property tax lien that's going to take first position, it's going to be very difficult to close that loan without paying it off in full, because no investor, no lender is going to want to be second lien position when they're the ones giving majority of the money to close this transaction.
Makes total sense. And our next question. The first reverse mortgage just came across me today. Should I run? I've never thought about doing them. Are they worth the trouble?
So first and foremost, I know what you wrote has no malice intent. So I want to start there. I know it doesn't at all. But you don't want to start the conversation as like, is it worth the trouble, right? Like that right away, you want to reframe your mindset. You know, does the consumer need this? And am I the best fit for this consumer to help them with this specific situation? Right? Like that's the conversation that you need to have. So there are many amazing brokers out there that are very good at reverse mortgages. I have done several myself, not my specialty, but I've closed several of them and followed the right protocol, gone through all the right steps. I think there's a couple companies that are still doing them out there. I haven't done one in quite some time, but again, is it beneficial to your consumer? And do you feel confident enough to be taught the process and to be able to explain it to your client so they have the confidence to either proceed or not proceed? If that answer is no, then it's not worth it. Give the file to somebody else that handles it, that knows how to have the conversation. Because a reverse mortgage is a beautiful product as long as you understand the intricacies of it and as long as you know how to explain it to the consumer and their family. One of the biggest tips that I was always given, because I reached out to several people as I started doing reverse mortgages in my career, get the families on the phone, right? You want to talk to the sons, the daughters, any family members that are part of that situation. See, like, have they talked to them about this? Or is this the only time they've ever heard of the reverse? That'll give you information as an LO on where to take the file. If you're not the best fit, that's okay. We have a bunch of amazing members in our community that will absolutely love to take care of this consumer. So they are worth it. They're worth learning. They're a great product. You just got to learn the intricacies of them.
Absolutely. Yeah, I remember we've talked about those in the past.
Yep.
And it is very client situational.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't think we mentioned the family thing in the past, but I think that's just from my personal experiences over the past couple of years, 100% agree that should happen.
Yep.
But our last question of the week, this is a good one. AI switch up. Been hearing a lot about Claude. Is it worth the switch from chat? And what do you like about you new AI? For those who have switched from ChatGPT and who have switched, what have you switched to? For those who have stuck with ChatGPT, why?
All right, I'm probably going to have Luke and Jason and a bunch of other people freak out on me. Yeah, Tommy and everybody freak out on me for this. But listen, if your job is to generate business, okay, and that's how you put money on your table, if you believe that switching is going to help you exponentially grow that and be able to do that at a higher level, then make the switch. But the reality is, it's not that drastic because we just don't know enough about it, if we're being very real. Everybody tells me, now, have I dabbled in all of them? Yes. I stick with GPT. I'm not switching. I learned it. I understand it. These things are changing daily. They're updating daily, if not multiple times a day. So just pick one and stick to it unless you absolutely are certain your business, because of this switch, is going to skyrocket. But how much downtime are you losing by having to learn a new system? How much downtime are you losing trying to figure out how to make it all work? And at the end of the day, how much time is it really giving you back? If it's giving you back a couple minutes, can you stop? And not just you, by the way. I hope you know I'm not like yelling at you, the person who posted this. It's just we're getting so much of these coming in, but just like, don't overthink it. Like, it's not worth it unless your business is going to explode. Just stick to what you have. Keep building it up, my friends. That's it. Don't overthink it, because it'll crush your head when you're trying to figure out how to put more food on your table, help more clients, if you're just sitting there trying to figure out this AI and all the stuff happening on the back end. So that's my hot take on it.
And for me, I'm in marketing, obviously. I found switching to Claude had really helped me, but ChatGPT could have continued to do the same thing. And I'm not up to date on what ChatGPT and where it currently is, because I just switched. So it's all like John said, it's all switching so fast that if you value, like, I'm doing it as a hobby. Like, I don't actually use it for my job right now, just because I'm in a leadership position and I run a team, and I don't really find that AI helps me do that. And so, but when I was writing the social copy for AIME, when I was writing the emails, coming up with all this content, that's where it could really help. But where I'm at, I'm using it more as a hobby right now. So I do jump around. I can jump around, but I've stuck with Claude just because, one, it's a hobby, so I've put money into it that I want to use, opposed to then spending more money on something else. But I think it's just always be learning is the rule here, and you can do that on the platform that you're currently on, and that's just where you'll have the most growth. And then maybe in a couple of years, one will rise to be the de facto platform that's best for your field. But we're not there yet.
Not even close.
So just keep learning. Just keep learning what it's capable of, and just keep going down the rabbit hole. But it can be a time suck as well. A lot of people view it as a time saver, but I have friends that have lost a lot of time to just they learned, so they have that as an outcome, but they've lost a lot of time and productivity just trying to get it to do something that they could have done themselves in probably about half the time, because they were trying to get it to write what they would write, and it's not going to do that. You're still the only person that's going to write the way you write.
Yep.
So if you want your questions answered on the Broker Power Up podcast, be sure to be an AIME member and be in the Brokers Are Best Facebook group. If you are not a member, you can scan the QR code, and we'll be on the other side with some sales pitch training where John talks to us about framing. We'll be right back.
Are you a wholesale mortgage professional? Well, then the very first thing you need is a community to help you and your business grow. With AIME membership, your community is right here. Joining our community means never navigating the market alone or operating without a safety net ever again. We are 16,000 members strong of united wholesale professionals. From rookies to top-ranking originators, all dedicated to supporting each other's success so we can grow together. Beyond entry to the best community in the mortgage industry, AIME membership gives you the resources, tools, guidance, discounts, services, and support that help you and your wholesale business grow, thrive, and most importantly, close more loans. AIME membership connects you with leading wholesale lenders and vendors, offering you exclusive access, services, and discounts that save you more money while helping you make more money. Never get stuck on a loan again with our lender escalation program. Grow your network and skills with the wholesale industry's best conferences and networking events. Get the strategies and skills of top originators and industry innovators with AIME's cutting-edge wholesale mortgage education, resources, and content. AIME offers all of this and more, starting at a low price of $19.99 a month. You heard it here first, couple cups of Starbucks coffee. For you to learn more and get started, all you have to do is visit aimegroup.com, AIME group.com /membership. Your community is waiting.
And I'm waiting to become a better salesperson. John, what do you got?
So we're talking about AI, and I want to talk about the importance of framing and how AI can give you such a better opportunity to go into any sales call or anything in general by leveraging the AI and learning how to frame more just easier and more fluidly as you're speaking to a client. So let's talk about what ChatGPT is doing, what AI in general, not just ChatGPT. What it's doing is it's giving you a sense of additional confidence. And let me walk you through what I mean exactly. When I was 16 years old, I had a car. Okay, got a car, and I had to get an oil change. So first ever time getting an oil change, where I'm the one driving, taking it in, not no dad, right? My license. My dad, obviously, my dad didn't go with me. I wanted to do it alone that time. So I was like, no, Dad, I'm going to handle this. I can do it. I'm a man. I'm 16 years old. All right. So I take the car, I drop it in, I wait, take my time. After a couple hours, I get a call, and the guy says, hey, there's also a nail in your tire, and we can remove that nail for $55. All right. Now, I didn't know at the time that basically a nail in the tire, depending on where it's at in the tire, actually matters whether you need to repair it, replace it, whatever it might be. Has to do a lot with where it's entering the rubber of the tire. So I didn't know any of this, and I didn't ask any of those questions. So I went ahead and said, yeah, do it. And the guy charged me probably more than he should have. And I went home. I showed my dad thinking, Dad, look, I pulled it off. And my dad's like, what's this? I was like, oh, it's a nail. So they had a picture of it. I showed my dad the picture. Of course, my dad said, well, we could have done this one ourselves. It could have saved you this much money. Now, if I would have had ChatGPT like I do today, now what I do is I take pictures of everything and I say, hey, can you fill me in on this? What do you think? And I don't take it as absolute. You never should. Let's be crystal clear.
Only a Sith deals in absolute.
Only a Sith, exactly, y'all. And hopefully y'all have heard that multiple times now on our But now imagine I would have had it like I have today, but it gives me some context. It gives me some ideas. Tom Allis, for those that know Edge, he just posted not long ago about his he popped his calf. And he talked about how he heard a sound when he was playing pickleball, and then he went to his ChatGPT, typed it in, and it said it's something to do with his calf. He went to the doctor. It was exactly that. But imagine 16-year-old me if I go back and I had that context and I said, hey, I'm reading ChatGPT and it says that based on where the nail is, I might be able to do it myself. Can you tell me, based on your experience, where that nail is? Is this something I can do myself, or is it in a place that is truly going to need you to repair it for me? So what's that doing? That's giving me confidence. That's what AI is doing for clients, and that's what it's going to do for you. So now when you're going into these conversations, you need to just assume that your client is using AI before they come talk to you.
Yes.
That's what's going to help you reframe your mindset. And once you understand that, then you can go in to the conversation. So why is framing so important? Whoever frames the conversation controls the entire outcome. If you don't frame the conversation properly on a call, on a sales call, then your consumer is going to revert to what all consumers do, which is a constant just race to the bottom. Hey, just give me the cheapest rate. Just give me the best deal. Framing allows you to define what actually matters to the consumer prior to you going into the conversation. And that's why AI is so valuable, to gather that information and help organize your thoughts on what is important to the consumer and what isn't. Great framing equals better questions, not better answers.
Yep.
Okay? I'm the one supposed to ask the great questions that make you think. That's what framing allows you to do. And that's where AI, for some of you out there that might say, John, I'm not that good with questions. It does take practice to ask great questions. But now you have the chance to practice as many times as you want with AI. See, I have the luxury of coming from the retail environment where I was getting thousands and thousands of opportunities on a yearly basis. So I got to practice a lot. Many of us in the broker space don't get that opportunity, but now with AI, you have the chance to work on your framing. You can practice every morning with your AI. You don't even need to talk to the consumer. And it'll teach you to ask better questions, because that's what will open up the conversation, is making somebody think differently. It's like when somebody asks you, how's your day? Oh, it's good. Hey, what was the best part about your day today?
Much better question.
Right? What was the best part about your day today?
Podcasting with John.
Podcasting with John. Oh, I don't have anything. Well, what was the worst part about your day, since nothing positive seemed to happen? And then I'll even frame it that way. But think about the difference in that question. That's going to make you think about your day. You do not want to ask questions that you can answer at a snap of a finger, right? How old are you? 34. What are you doing this weekend? Nothing. What do you like to do for fun? Sit around. Those aren't good framing questions. If you could eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be and why? If you could only visit one place once a year out of all the places you've ever visited, what's the place you would go to and why? What does that do? That makes you go back. That makes you go, wait, oh my gosh, what was the best place I've ever visited? But
Why was it?
Why was it? But this is what framing is, y'all. And then the last piece of it is using the AI to pressure test your conversations. So start asking different framing questions about interest rates, right? Start asking different questions about closing costs. Outside of rates and fees, what are important to you when it comes to your mortgage? I did just the rate and the fee. just outside of that, if you can just work with me here for a second. Tell me about your last couple experiences. What was one thing you loved and one thing you hated about the mortgage process? You're opening the door and you can pressure test with your AI. So those are the three things that I want you to understand is whoever frames the conversation controls the outcome. Number two, great framing equals better questions, not better answers. And number three, use AI to pressure test everything. This is how we are using AI, but this is how to frame conversations and give you the confidence to go into any situation. We appreciate you all very, very much. That's what I got. Maya and Tommy, any insights, anything from your side?
Yeah, I almost have like a homework assignment that I want to give people because
Ooh.
I'm not a mortgage broker. But if I was, what I would take away from this is I would go, not waste time, but learn, always be learning, go onto AI and ask AI what home buyers in 2026 are asking AI and what are the results that you are commonly giving them. What advice are you giving them so that you can be prepared when someone says certain words that AI likes to use in their conversation that sound not like a normal person's vocabulary. And you can be like, did you look this up? And then you can assert yourself as the expert because you understand that they used AI to come to you with their expertise that they claim to have based on a quick prompt. But now you are asserting yourself as the expert because you've done that too, and you know where they're coming from. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Well, thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Broker Power Up podcast. If you found today's tips helpful, do us a favor. Hit the like button to let us know you enjoyed it, which helps even more people see this content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Ring the bell to get notified every time we drop new content. Share this video with a fellow broker who could use a power up. Remember to lead by example, to lift each other up, to grow together, and most importantly, close more loans. Until next time, we'll catch you later.